Well, hello! Welcome back to my channel. Joshana here to talk about some friggin' books. Just have a recent wrap-up today, and it probably will be pretty quick and not that exciting because most of these are rereads, so it is what it is. The first one to talk about today, The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. So, this is the bind-up novellas, the prequel, basically, novellas to the Throne of Glass series, which was Sarah J. Maas's first book series. And this collection, this bind-up of these novellas didn't get published, I don't think until after Crown of Midnight for sure, but perhaps even after Heir of Fire, I'm not sure. The first time I read this series, I had not read any of these because I don't believe that this was printed yet. When I reread it the first time, I read this, and then... Have I read this twice? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I did not reread this. I reread this whole series in 2018, but it appears I didn't reread this at that time because I have a little book plate in here. But I did this time. So basically, rereading the Throne of Glass series because of the travesty that was House of Sky and Breath. Ingrid and Roger and I had buddy read House of Sky and Breath, and all of us hated it. And Ingrid and I are Sarah J. Maas fans, generally speaking, and we both really love the Throne of Glass series, so we were just like, I need a palate cleanser. I need to remember why I thought Sarah J. Maas's books were fun and like just a fun time. So we were like, we want to reread this, and Roger has never read it, so it's his first time. So it's fun kind of going through it with someone who's never read it before versus the two of us who have reread it multiple times. But anyways, yeah, we started with this because I just feel like this is the best place to start. If you start just in Throne of Glass and don't read Assassin's Blade, there's just so much that isn't going to make... I mean, it's not like it doesn't make sense, but it's just she references things that happened in these novellas that you don't really care about if you haven't read the novellas. So even in Crown of Midnight, there's references to Sam and different characters that she met in these novellas and had pretty significant interactions with. And so it's like, I don't know, I just feel like this is the best place to start, even though it's novellas, and I don't love novellas usually. But yeah, it was fun. It was a fun time. It was nice to be back with our girl Selena, doing her Selena thing, being her. It was a good time. I don't think I rated it as highly on reread. I can't remember what I rated this the first time I read it, but this time I gave it a 3.25 because it's fun. It's just so, I love this whole series, but it is very young adult, and like Selena is this assassin badass chick, but she's also still very much a teenage girl who's kind of dumb and annoying sometimes. You're like, shut up. But it's not like unrealistic that a teenage girl would be this way. It's just as a 35, almost 36-year-old lady now reading it, it's kind of like, you're such a teenager. So just the reading experience is a little different, but still a fun time, and still like all the little stories in here. The next one that I finished, which I had started reading before Assassin's Blade, this took me quite some time to finish, but that is Aerovenovaron by Michael J. Sullivan. This is the final book in the Rhaeria Revelations, which was his first published series, and it's in the same world, once again, as the Legends of the First Empire series and Nolan. This one right here, the Rise and the Fall series. And I liked this series. I don't want anyone to be confused. I love Royce and Hadrian. I think they're great. Michael J. Sullivan just does characters that I give a crap about very well. And I love their bromance. They are so great. And all the other characters in this, I also really enjoyed. Arista in particular, really, really liked her, but some other ones too. This series, though, I rated each book slightly lower than the one before it. It's not that I wasn't enjoying it, but like I felt like in this one in particular, the pacing was kind of off. I really like the characters, but not so much that I only want to see character interactions that aren't super aggressively moving the plot forward. There was just a lot of times where I'm like, here we are again with Amelia, and she's chatting with somebody, and they're chatting over there, and I'm just like, can we move on, please? It just took a while to get to, oh, stuff's actually happening now. So there was that. It kind of was a detriment to my reading experience how fucking annoying Deegan Gaunt is. Oh my good God. Just like, it's just super ridiculous, man. And just like almost felt a little cartoony. And just being a very pretentious, spoiled, holier than thou, immature, so immature. Oh my God. And you weren't supposed to like him. He was supposed to be very annoying, but it was like again, kind of cartoony with how annoying he was. It's just like, dude, shut up. So that was a little annoying, but like I said, I still love Royce and Hadrian so much, and I did love Arista, and oh my God, so many things. Again, I think the biggest thing I like about this series is all the Easter eggs and the tie-ins with the Legends of the First Empire series. I was trying to predict, I knew there was someone in this series who we saw in the Legends of the First Empire series. Well, there were two people in particular that I'm like, I was pretty sure I knew who one was, kind of the bad guy. I was pretty sure, I was like, I think that we're looking for this bad guy from Legends, and I think it's this character in this series. I didn't start thinking that until the second book, kind of towards the end, but then, yeah, I was correct. But then, the character, I don't know how to describe it. There's a character in the Legends of the First Empire who you know based on, like, they kind of, like, are foretelling the future to Persephone in that series. They're telling her about her heir, and later down the road, she's going to have this heir down the line that is going to need help, and he's saying he's going to be there for this heir in their time of need, and he's going to make sure that they're okay. And so I was looking for this particular character in Rhaeria, and for a while I thought it was one person. Well, initially I thought it was one person, but then I was like, no, they're like for reasons it couldn't be them. And then I thought it was this other person, but then they died, and I was like, okay, it's not them. And I had a thought for a moment that it could be this one guy, and then it was, and the final scene, the very final scene, oh God. It's like, it's impactful reading this series because you are told who this person really is, but like if you haven't read the Legends series, like you don't really know this person. Whereas having read Legends, like I know this person, I know this character really well. So it was like even more impactful, I think, like the literal final scene. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Because you know the truth of the Legends, right? You know the truth of it. Even in the series, that final scene, like I said, you do get told briefly, like, oh, this is who this person is. And like, here you go. And so it's a little bit like, oh my God, no way, that's them. But like, in the Legends series, you know the true story behind the thing in the end. I'm being so fucking vague. I'm so sorry. Anyway, so I didn't love this as much as I wanted to. I think the pacing was just a little off, was my biggest thing, just through the middle, where I was just like, a lot of this feels kind of dragged out. Still really enjoyed it though, and like I enjoyed the series overall, but I gave this one 3.25. It was like kind of middle of the road, but like slightly better. Maybe I would give it 3.5. Yeah, I think I would give it 3.5 actually. I'm going to change it because it's like slightly better than like middle of the road. I liked it a lot, but I didn't love it, which is my 3.5 or 3.75. I still prefer the Legends of the First Empire series. And then the next two I'll just talk about together because it's, once again, Throne of Glass, the first book, and Crown of Midnight, the second book. Reread both of these. And Throne of Glass, you know, it's Selena doing the whole championship thing and being Selena. I forgot how much I really, really like Selena and Dorian's interactions. Their chemistry together, just like on a friendship level, I adore. I adore it. I love it so much. And yeah, I really enjoyed seeing that again. I think also because having recently read House of Sky and shit and seeing Sarah J. Maas write characters that are love interests but that have actual chemistry, and like I buy it, I believe it, I get why they like each other so much past just thinking each other's hot, and I really liked it. I think I rated this lower though on reread again just because this is my third time rereading this series, and most of it anyways. Kingdom of Ash I've only read once, but this I've read 3 times, and again, it's just very young adult, so I think over time and like kind of very much aging out of really connecting with the tone of young adult, and again, with a literal teenager doing teenage things and acting like a teenager, it's realistic. It's not like, oh, it's bad or anything. It's just so annoying sometimes. I'm like, oh my God, girl, stop, please. But I like that Selena is a character who is like, you know, the fighter chick, but she also really likes, you know, getting all dressed up and stuff. People always complain, like, I don't care about her damn dresses and her makeup and her hair as much as she does want to tell us about it. But I think it's fun. I don't know. It's just like little peeks into who she is as a character, and I like it. Crown of Midnight. Now, this one I definitely rated lower upon reread. This one I think I gave a 5-star because the ending I still love. I do still love it. I love it a lot. But I don't like Kale. I just don't. And in this one, Selena is hyper-focused on Kale rather than Dorian. And I don't get it. I don't get it. It's another thing where I'm like, Sarah, why do these people like each other? Just because they're both hot and because they spend a lot of time together? Not a good enough reason. I get why he likes her because she has a personality. Same thing with Bryce and Hunt. Like, I get why he likes her because she's written with like a lot of personality and whatever, and likes and dislikes and interests and hobbies. But then why does she like him so much? Because he's just kind of there and hot and like nice, I guess, but I don't see the chemistry on the page. So I think that and probably Roger made the point. He's like, I think it's annoying you more right now, probably, because I was like, it didn't annoy me as much before. I used to give this book 5 stars, but I can't give it 5 stars this time. And he was like, I think it's probably annoying you more because you just read House of Sky and Breath and like the whole Bryce Hunt dynamic, and it's reminding you of that. And I was like, yeah, that could very well be. But I love seeing Selena have a best friend, even though, you know, I won't give spoilers there, but things happen that I do not love. But anyway, but the ending, I still, like, I laugh at how I completely did not see the ending of this coming at all when I read it the first time. 0%. 0%. I was taking everything at face value and just being like, oh, well, yeah, blah, blah. I don't want to give spoilers in case anyone's reading this. I mean, it's an old series at this point, but still. But yeah, I just definitely did not see it coming the first time, and it like literally blew my mind. I was like, what the hell? And now reading it for the third time, I'm like, there's foreshadowing. There's foreshadowing of that. But like, again, the first time I read it, I was just like here for the ride, having a good time, not paying attention to the clues at all. I was just enjoying the ride. And then, bam, smacked in the face with the ending. I'm trying to like, I think 3.75 now. It's not my fave anymore. It's definitely not 5 stars. Just Kale and Selena, like, shut up. Shut up. I don't care. And it was like a huge chunk of the book was the whole Kale and Selena thing going on. I was like, I don't give a shit at all. So yeah, 3.75, maybe 4. But I think 3.75 is probably realistic for just the experience of reading it this time around. So there's that. And there we are. Those are the books. So yeah, nothing groundbreaking, only one that was new. But yeah, we are continuing to reread through the Throne of Glass series. So I'm excited. I'm so excited. Ingrid and I keep messaging each other like separately, being like, we can't wait until Roger gets to this part. Or, oh my God, remember this thing? And oh, I can't wait till Roger reads it. And like hoping he likes it. And that he's like, oh, this is fun. Really hope he does. So yeah, it's a good time though, reading through it again. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already and you feel so inclined. You can always leave a little emoji if you just want to say hello and make your presence known. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.